These new plan tokens made the Vanguard world go crazy yesterday. So welcome to the Solemn Vanguard channel. Today we are discussing some new stuff from the anime that seems to hint at quite some boost for Nectar. However, first, I want to announce some things. First of all, look at this beautiful playmat. Available as our typical rubber mat with stitched borders, but also available as a 2-player mat. So go to zerodamagegaming.com, use the code Solemn to get some percentages off that. It's actually, it's such a pretty mat. There is also now a sleeve creator, so you can upload your own designs, your own images onto the website. It's in the navigation menu, sleeve creator. And that way you can put something on sleeves you like and have it shipped straight to your door. And finally, we also restocked more Phantasmal Steed Restoration onto Claret cards. So our Shadow Paladin, Pale Moon, DI, it was all sold out instantly. And so we ordered even more cases. So if you still need some cards from Phantasmal Steed Restoration and you live in Europe, be sure to check that out. We now have everything available once again. But without further ado, let's get into the tokens. So yesterday, an image was leaked from the anime because some countries get the anime earlier than others. And it showed a plant token with 10,000 power, 10,000 shield, boost, and intercept. Now there was a lot of back and forth about these because they still had the name plant token and nothing seemed to suggest that they were a different kind of plant token. And so some people would say, oh, but on card text some say, oh, call a plant token with 5k power. The issue is that extra text is reminder text. So a card like the triple rare Sylvia says call a plant token with 5k power, but that 5k power is reminder text and so doesn't actually influence the rules of the game. So had this token been just a plant token that's part of your token pile, and Sylvia says call a plant token, even if the reminder text says 5k, you would be able to call this thing out with the 10k power and the 10k shield, and that's just that. Unless, of course, there is some ability text on here that says, oh, this can only be used if certain conditions are met. This, of course, made people go wild because it meant that suddenly Nectar, which is already a really strong deck in Premium, would become even stronger. However, we now also have the anime where it seems to suggest that the new boroughs, the new, well, we think VR, for Nectar in the coming set, will be the card that changes your tokens into these stronger tokens. So you have your 5k token, and then the boroughs would transform them into the 10k token with all the other benefits. Now the question will be, how? Is it when placed that it changes them all? No, because we saw other tokens being placed while it's online, and they were also the better ones. So maybe it is continuous. Now this would mean that we don't get the super broken interactions from the new tokens and we just use our old cards and call the better tokens and Katrina is even stronger. That is not gonna be possible from what we can tell so far. But that doesn't mean the dream is dead. Because let's say it is a continuous. Let's say our boroughs says continuous, all of your plant tokens that get 10k shield, have 5k power, can boost and can intercept. That would still mean that Nectar suddenly gets a defensive option after Katrina. So let's say you see, oh, I'm gonna do a really hard Katrina push this turn. However, I'm probably not going to win. So you do your typical stuff, but you make it so on your ending board, you end with 2 of those tokens in your front row. Sure, you had a less hard push, but what you got in return is 2 extra interceptors of 10k, because it's a continuous skill, so it would also work in your opponent's turn. So suddenly, you add a little bit more flavor to this deck, because not only do you have the offensive push, you also get the defensive push. Interesting there, of course you would be sacrificing your Maiden of Trailing Rose when placed call 2 tokens. So then you would have to ask yourself the question, is it worth it to me to sacrifice that? We also saw our boroughs call 2 of these 10k tokens though, so maybe that's an on-place, and then, well, then you didn't sacrifice anything really, apart from maybe your stronger Sea Breeze turn. However, it could also be that that's an act, because we saw later into the episode, even though I don't think she rewrote our boroughs, she still called 2 extra tokens of him. So maybe it's an auto when placed, maybe it's an act on top of that, maybe it triggers when you place another token. We're not sure. We only saw this really short fight with barely any interactions or mechanics going on, but it's still something to go off. We can't be certain yet about anything. All we know is that these things exist. They are 10k shield, they can intercept, they can boost, they have 10k power. So it's gonna boost Neo Nectar in standard, obviously. But we'll have to see how deep the power increase in premium will actually take effect. I assume they want this to buff premium, because they are always trying to add some cards into their standard sets that also change the premium meta. They have been doing this ever since V started, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to do that again, but they also don't want to go overboard either. From what I'm feeling, I feel like standard is the rotating format, but it's not a hard rotation. They're just creeping out previous sets, making you buy the new product, which is normal for a card game that doesn't rotate. But so that way you are still buying new decks constantly. And then in premium, the format shifts a little still, but not as aggressively. So your decks stay relevant far longer, but they still want to keep the format fresh. So they still want to inject some new stuff once in a while. So that's what I feel like they're gonna do. I feel like this will obviously creep Neo Nectar to a next level in standard, and then some things will interact really well with premium, changing the meta there as well. Big question is of course gonna be, how hard? How deep are they gonna go with this? We also haven't seen the other cards, obviously. Maybe there's some grade 2 that makes these kinds of better tokens as well. We'll have to see. We did see in the episode as well that the grade 1 Merca, which normally calls a normal plant token, suddenly called a 10k plant token. So this further suggests that it's Arboros having this continuous skill that automatically turns tokens into the better ones. But yeah, that's all we have for now. Hope you found this interesting. Hope you are filled in this way. Be sure to pick up this beautiful playmat. God. Use the code Solemn. And if you still need some cards from Phantasmal, Claret Cards has everything right now. That is all for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you soon. Ciao.